Welcome students. In this video we are going to start with section 18 ITC in certain special circumstances. What is there in this video? We are going to learn if ITC is available in these many cases. What are those cases? If a registered person becomes unregistered, what happens to it? What happens to his ITC? If a unregistered person becomes registered person, will he get ITC? And if he is getting ITC, is he getting complete 100% ITC? Is he getting ITC on inputs, input services and capital goods? There are so many other such questions, and all those questions will be answered in this video. Okay, subsection 1 says that these are certain special cases, and whether ITC is available or not available, let us see. There are, these are the clauses. Clause A says new registration. If a person takes new registration and his registration is turnover based, then will he get ITC? Yes, ITC is available on inputs only. Now let me also tell you this, new voluntary registration, for such persons also ITC is available. Now what is this? In registration chapter in regular classes we had seen section 22 to section 30 deals with registration and its cancellation, right? Now what this section says, if a person, section 22, let me only speak about section 22. If the person's aggregate turnover, aggregate turnover crosses the limit of 40, 20 or 10. What is this 40, 20 or 10? I have made a separate video for aggregate turnover. Now I request you to go with that video in order to understand this first, and then come back to this video and start watching from this point, right? If the aggregate turnover crosses this limit, then the person has to take compulsory registration under section 24, compulsory registration. Now procedure for registration is given in the section 25, right? I'm not teaching you about registration, I'm teaching you about ITC, new registration turnover based. I mean to say, if the person takes registration in section 22, then ITC is available on inputs only. I hope you are understanding. If the person's aggregate turnover crosses this limit, then he will get ITC only if he gets registration in the GST. And how to get the registration? Within 30 days. Okay, within 30 days he has to take the registration from the date on which he becomes liable. Okay, this is the point. Now new voluntary registration. There is a person who is supplying goods and services, but his aggregate turnover is nowhere in this limit. His aggregate turnover, let us say 2 lakh or 5 lakh or even 10 lakh in normal category states, right? Even if I in certain cases I tell you 30 lakh turnover is happening in 1 year, still he is not liable for registration under section 22, because aggregate turnover is not beyond this 40 lakh limit. Now this person says, I want to get registration, because wherever he goes he is asked for the GSTIN number. Every supplier, every businessman, every customer is asking for GSTIN number, and this person says, no Baba, I really do not want to stay away from this GST, let me start paying GST, but yes, I want to take the registration by myself, voluntary registration I want to take. For such registration, ITC is available on inputs only. Now in one of the video, right, section 16, the link is given here in this description. I have spoken about inputs. What are those inputs? Input includes input goods, okay, input goods, also input services. We are not speaking about capital goods. Inputs include input goods and input services. Input goods means, in your easy terms, raw material, be that work in progress or semi-finished goods, right? Those are input goods. Now input services, there is nothing like raw material, work in progress, fine. Service is service. Input service, if you have taken, we call it as only input. ITC is available only on inputs only in these cases, in these two cases. Okay, now what is this third case? When registered person supplying exempt goods now become taxable. Now what is happening in this case? There is a person who is supplying exempt goods. Earlier he was supplying exempt goods. Now what are these exempt goods? These are those goods which are notified by the government. These are exempt from the GST. You don't have to pay the taxes, right? ITC is also not available on exempt goods. Now these exempt goods, government again says through notification that yes, these exempt goods have become taxable. Now when these exempt goods become taxable, okay, then the person also has to take registration and he has to start paying GST. And if he is paying GST, he is entitled to get ITC input tax credit. Now in this case what has happened is, registered person was supplying exempt goods. He has already taken registration. Okay, please understand this case. He has already taken registration and he was supplying exempted goods, right? Now such exempted goods have become taxable now, right? Will he get ITC? Yes, he will get ITC on inputs as well as on capital goods. What had happened in earlier case? On inputs only they were going to get ITC. They did not get ITC on capital goods. Now in this case, on capital goods also they are getting ITC. Why is it so? You will ask me, sir. Let me tell you. They are registered person already in the GST. In this case, they are not registered. In this case, they are not registered. But in this case, they are registered. Look at this, composition dealer. Composition dealer means he is already registered under section 10, right? Section 10 under GST Act. Now he has taken registration under section 10. He was already registered. Now he has become a regular registered person under section 24, compulsory registration, right? Or let us say under section 22. Fine. Now these two persons were already registered and now they are getting ITC in these two cases. Now reduced ITC on capital goods. Whatever ITC they are getting in these capital goods, they are not getting all 100%. They are getting reduced ITC. Now what is this reduced ITC? Reduced ITC, you have to look after rule 40. Useful life for capital goods will be 60 months. This is the standard given in the Act, right? 60 months. You take any capital good. This GST Act said you take any capital good, its useful life we will consider as how much? 60 months, right? Now ITC attributable to such goods will be useful life of capital goods divided by 60 months. Now whatever amount he will get, that will be the ITC attributable for such capital good. We will understand all this with an example, right? Now let me clear this and let me get back to you. Now we will understand all these one by one, okay? First let me draw a timeline for you. Let us suppose this is 1st of January and this is 31st of January, right? January month. You consider any year. Let us suppose 2019. Let us suppose. Now this person, there is a person and let me give some name. Supplier, or let us say Suresh. Suresh and Ramesh, common examples because their name resembles with supplier and recipient, right? New registration, turnover based. What do you mean by this? Let us say this Suresh is a supplier and in the month of 2019 he had already started the business. In the month of 2019 he gets a contract, and that contract was for let us say that contract was for 20 lakh rupees. This had happened on 10th of January, right? Now on 10th of January he says his turnover will cross 40 lakh limit. Now therefore he becomes liable. He becomes liable to take registration in GST. Okay, he becomes liable for taking registration in GST. And now what do you mean by taking registration in GST? Liable to pay GST. Okay, you to pay the GST you have to take registration, right? That way you have to understand. Now on 10th of January he becomes liable because he has got this contract of 20 lakh rupees. Now the Act says within 30 days you have to take the registration, right? Now he finds a GST professional and he asks, say, sir, I want to get registration in GST. Now This happens on let us say 25th of January. He goes to the GST professional or chartered accountant and gets registered in the GST Act on 25th of January. Now on 28th of January, his application, okay, let me write it here. His application gets approved, and on 28th January, he gets registration certificate, RC we call it as. Now whatever registration certificate he gets will be from the backdated, right? Registration certificate will be effective from the backdated. You know why? Government says you have sincerely come to us and you have taken registration very sincerely, you are very much obedient and you are supposed to take ITC, you must get the benefits. And then government says fine, whatever ITC we are giving you, we will give you from backdated. Whenever you have become liable, we will get from that date onwards. You take ITC, you start enjoying it. Now this person becomes very much happy, Suresh, and he asks the chartered accountant or GST professional, sir, how much did I get the ITC? Now GST professional will ask him, what was your opening stock on 10th January? What was the opening stock on 10th January? That will be on 9th January closing stock, okay? Closing stock. Now what am I speaking about? I'm speaking about stock. I'm speaking about inputs. I'm speaking about inputs only. Now be that raw material, be that work in progress, be that semi-finished goods or any other such goods or even services, right? All such inputs, you have to just value them, calculate how much taxes you have paid already on such goods and get that credit. Get that credit on 10th of January, right? On 10th of January, he will get ITC of all unsold goods. I hope you are understanding this point, right? This is all about the new registration, and for turnover based, if you are taking registration, this happens, right? Now I will again clear this all. I will tell you what happens for voluntary registration, right? Let us start with the new voluntary registration. What happens to that person? Let us take the same example, okay? This is the timeline. This is the 1st of January and this is 31st of January. Now Ramesh comes. Let us suppose this Ramesh is also a supplier. Now he takes voluntary registration. Now why voluntary registration? As I told you, wherever he goes, to whoever supplier, whoever manufacturer, whoever customer, wherever he goes, everybody is asking about GSTI number. भैया आपके पास GSTI number है क्या? अगर है तो मुझे दे देना. अगर नहीं है तो I'm sorry, I don't want to deal with you. You know why? It is because if when you deal with unregistered person, when that person does not have GSTI number, then you will not get the ITC. This is the problem with GST. This is actually not a problem, but fine. What they say, what government says, when the good reaches the last person must pay the taxes. This is indirect tax. This is the feature of tax, okay? It is not the problem of government. Now Ramesh, what he says, I want to take voluntary registration. Now he takes voluntary registration, let us say on 15th of January. Okay, he is applying it. Okay, he applies on 15th of January. Again on 25th January, he will get IC registration certificate. Now from what date he will get registration certificate? He will get registration certificate from this date onwards. He will not get registration certificate from backdated. Fine. Sir, ITC का कैसा होगा? ITC, he will get ITC on 24th closing stock. Whatever opening stock he has on 25th January, whatever opening inputs, let me say, whatever opening inputs he has on 25th January, on all such inputs, he will get ITC. Hope you are understanding. Now sir, please explain this point with an example. I will tell you. He has inputs of, let us say, 10 lakh rupee, and on this 10 lakh rupee he has taken he has paid already GST worth rupees 2 lakh rupees. Now 2 lakh rupee he has already paid on these many inputs which were available on 25th of January. Now this 2 lakh ITC he will get, input tax credit he will get. Now whenever he has to pay, let us suppose in the month of February he is paying 3.5 lakh of GST. Okay, this is the GST liability. Now he will take credit of this 2 lakh rupee. Okay, then 2 lakh will be deducted, and 1.5 lakh will be only payable to the government. Okay, this is output liability minus input liability. You will get GST liability to be paid to the government, right? This is how new voluntary registration will happen. ITC is available. Yes, we are giving you input tax credit, but on what? On inputs only, not on capital goods. Is that clear? If it is clear, I will go with the next point. Now what happens to the next point? Registered person supplying exempt goods now become taxable, right? ITC is available on inputs as well as capital goods. Now you have already understood about inputs. Now what about capital goods? I will be speaking now. Now the next point, composition dealer. Okay, this point, composition dealer now becomes regular registered person. Now what this means? Okay, this is a timeline again, right? This is, let us say, we will change the date. This is 15th of October, and now this is 30th of October. Registered person supplying exempt goods now become taxable. Now there was a person, okay, let us again take this name, Suresh. This person was supplying taxable good. On 17th of October, government issues a notification that from midnight of 17th of October, this date onwards, whatever goods, these are such goods, these are exempted goods, this will become taxable. Okay, now from this date onwards, now Suresh had already taken registration in GST. Now he says, however, I have taken GST. Earlier I used to supply exempted goods, I did not used to get ITC. Now the same goods have become taxable, and now I am going to get ITC. Now this is beautiful part. Suresh is happy. Now he has to apply for ITC, GST, ITC 01. This is the ITC, GST ITC 01. This is the name of the form, right, to avail the ITC. Now from this date onwards, he will start getting the ITC. Now that was for inputs. What about capital goods? See, capital good, he already had, he had capital on 17th also, on 16th also, on 15th also, and earlier also. Now capital good were there earlier also, right? Now capital goods are still there. How will that person get ITC? Here we have to calculate the useful life of capital goods. If the useful life of capital goods is, let us say, only 1 year remaining, 4 years capital goods is already used and only 1 year is remaining, and 1 year, as you know, is equal to 12 months. Now how to calculate this ITC? ITC attributable will be 12 divided by 60, right? Now whatever amount you are going to get, I have given here the formula. ITC attributable is equal to useful life of capital goods divided by 60 months. That is what I have done. Now you will only get the proportion over here. Okay, you will only get the proportion. Now here you have to multiply on the total ITC that you want to get on this capital good, right? On this capital good, let us say you want to get 90,000 ITC. Now you have to multiply 1 divided by 5 into 90,000, right? Whatever amount you will get, that much of ITC will be attributable, will be available for this person, for Suresh, and he has to apply it in this form, right? Hope you are understanding. Now this is all about capital goods and inputs. The same thing is applicable here. Composition dealer has now become regular person. See, exempt goods, he was supplying exempt goods, and now he is supplying taxable goods. When he is supplying exempt good, he is registered. I will write here for your understanding with some other ink, so that you will not get confused. I am speaking some other else now. The person is already registered. The person is already registered. Was he paying taxes? No tax he used to pay. Was he collecting taxes? Tax not collected. Okay. In this case I am speaking about. Right. Now about composition dealer. Is the composition dealer registered person? Yes. Is he collecting taxes? No, he is not collecting taxes. Is he paying taxes? No, he is not paying taxes. I hope you are understanding, right? So these 3 points are common in between these 2 points, and therefore we understand that yes, ITC is available on inputs as well as on capital goods for these persons, and therefore the calculation will be this, in the same order, right? Now the next miscellaneous points, let me tell you, there are notes. Declaration form, there is a declaration form. This is called as declaration form. Okay, a declaration form. In this declaration form, Suresh has to say that yes, as on this date, I was supplying exempt goods, and now they have become taxable, and therefore I am liable for taxable. I am liable for paying registration or paying GST taxes. Now, in this declaration form, they have to say this. Now, second point is very important. Chartered accountant or cost accountant certificate is necessary if this ITC which you are taking is more than 2 lakh rupees. This is a rule given in the GST Act. Or in other words, let me tell you, if your total stock valuation, valuation comes to 2 lakh rupees, then obviously you will get ITC on 2 lakh rupees, and if it is more than 2 lakh rupee or even 2 lakh rupee, you have to take the certificate of chartered accountant or cost accountant while filing this declaration. And when you give the declaration, when it is approved, you will get ITC in your electronic credit ledger, right? This was all about clause subsection 1, registration in special cases. Now there is subsection 2 which speaks about time limit. Now what is this time limit? I will tell you right now. Now let us start with section 18 subsection 2, which speaks about time limit, and the time limit is 1 year from the date of invoice. Now what do you mean by this? Let me draw a timeline for you. Okay, this is let us say this is January 2020, and let us say this is January 2019. Right, in the previous point also we had seen this type of timeline, right? This type of vertical timeline. Now if the person has applied for a registration on 15th, he will get registration certificate on 25th of January. Now he will get ITC on the backdated, right, on 14th January. Whatever stock he had on that stock, on that inputs, he used to get the credit. Now these inputs might have purchased 1 month back. These inputs might have purchased 6 months earlier, 8 months earlier, 1 year earlier, 2 years earlier, these inputs, right? It depends on which kind of stock ledger he is following. Is he following FIFO method or is he following LIFO method? Right, last in first out. In the case of last in first out, he will be having old stocks too much at his store, right? Now he will be in a difficult position to get ITC because of this time limit, because of this 1 year. This point is really very important, and nobody explains you like this, right? Taking in the help of inventories. Now 1 year is the time limit set for these inputs, right? These inputs cannot be older than 1 year. Let me tell you through this timeline. He has taken registration, let us say on December 2019, right? He has taken registration. Now he had some inputs. This person had inputs in the month of June 2019. He had some inputs from April 2019. Now can he get ITC? If I say this is 31st of December, then this will be 1st of January 2019. Now this will be the last date that he is going to get the input tax credit. If he goes 1 day prior, that is 31st December of 2018, that will be more than 1 year, and input tax credit will not be available for that person, right? So in this timeline, whatever he has already purchased, he will get input tax credit on such goods. Fine. Sir, he has inputs, he has an invoice which is future dated, which is given in the month of January 2020, which is a future. Let us suppose I say future का invoice कौन देता है भाई? Nobody gives future invoices. No, invoice is always issued in the present date. Fine, future payments can happen, right? Future payments can happen, future credits will be sold to someone else. We call it as actionable claim, right? All such things are fine, but date of invoice will be always in the present, right? This was the point I really wanted to tell you, right? Subsection 2 of section 18 is also finished. Now subsection 3 of 18, change in constitution of firm. Now what this subsection says, if the business is transferred as a going concern, right, then what happens? Sale of business, merger, amalgamation, demerger, disposal, these are the examples which are given in the act, right? In these cases, ITC is available on all assets. Sir, you are speaking about assets, you were speaking about inputs, and you were speaking about capital goods. भैया सुनो, बैलेंस शीट याद है आपको? बैलेंस शीट में क्या क्या होता है सर? असेट्स, लायबिलिटीज होते हैं एंड देन असेट्स होते हैं. फाइन, असेट्स में क्या क्या होता है? स्टॉक होता है एंड फिक्स्ड असेट्स होते हैं. दैट इज व्हाट आई एम स्पीकिंग अबाउट. फिक्स्ड असेट्स आर capital goods. Stock is inputs. That is what I am speaking about, right? On all assets means I'm not speaking on cash, I'm not speaking on investments. No, I'm speaking only about capital goods and inputs, stock, right? ITC is available on all these persons. Fine. Declaration form. Let me tell you about something about this demerger, okay? Because of these assets, I will give you one example. ABC Company Limited, let us say ABC Limited has acquired PQR Limited. ABC has acquired PQR Limited. Now ABC is larger company which has acquired this PQR Limited. Now PQR, which was registered earlier in GST, it had, let us say, it had 50 lakh ITC available with it in its electronic credit ledger. 50 lakh ITC in PQR Limited was available. ABC Limited has acquired this PQR Limited. Now what happens to this ITC? ITC will be available for ABC Company Limited. ITC will be available, but on what basis? On assets basis. On assets basis. Proportionate ITC will be calculated, and that proportionate ITC will be transferred in the name of ABC Limited because it is acquired, right? Earlier this person was registered, now this person is registered. This person had all the rights over this ITC. Now this person will be having rights over ITC. Please understand, this ITC is changing its ownership. Earlier PQR was owner and now ABC is the owner. Now because ownership of this ITC is changing, government says you have to give a declaration form. Now what is this declaration form? GST ITC 02. This is the declaration form. Who has to give? PQR has to give, saying that yes, I am closing my business and I am acquired by ABC Company Limited. Now here onwards I will be called as ABC Limited. PQR name का PQR company का नाम हट जाएगा. In that case, GST ITC 02 should be declared by this PQR Limited, right? Then only all these 50 lakh rupee will be available for ABC Limited. Now ABC Limited will be, whatever assets it has acquired, proportionate ITC will be used by ABC Limited for its payment of GST, right? This is understanding of subsection 3 of section 18, change in constitution of firm. Now sir, what happens about disposal? Disposal means, you are just disposing of the business. You are not looking after the business now. Now what happens in this case? Let me tell you again with the timeline. Here you were a registered person. Here you were a registered person. Now as on this date you close the business. Because you are closing business, here onwards you are not paying taxes. Here onwards you are not paying taxes. I will write GST. You are not paying taxes. Now what government says, because you were a registered person earlier, as on this date, whatever ITC you have, you have to give it back to the government. Whatever ITC is available in that list, okay, in that electronic credit ledger, you have to give it back. What is this ITC reversal? Let me tell you let me again tell you, ITC taking means गवर्नमेंट से लेना है, आईटीसी रिवर्सल मीन्स गवर्नमेंट को देना है. गवर्नमेंट से आईटीसी जो आपने लिया था आप अभी गवर्नमेंट को दे रहे हैं. You are giving it back to the government, therefore ITC reversal is happening. How ITC reversal happens? See, if it is 15 lakh, if 15 lakh amount is there in ITC, 15 lakh rupee cash he has to pay to the government, right? ITC will be reversed here in this case. Now section 29 says about cancellation of GST. Now in this case also, whatever ITC is available, you have to give it back. Government issues a certificate saying that yes, here onwards you are not liable to pay taxes, GST taxes. Now section 30 also says, okay, revocation of cancellation of GST. Revocation of cancellation means whatever for cancellation you had given the application, now that application will be reversed. It means you will be still liable to pay the taxes. You will be still called as registered person, right? This is the understanding of section 29 and section 30 under CGST Act. Section 18 subsection 4, okay, we have seen here up to subsection 3. Subsection 4 is about capital goods and about composition dealer. When he takes registration into normal GST payer, what happens to his capital goods? Now that is about the composition dealer under subsection 4. Okay, subsection 5 says you have to look for the calculation of that capital goods part. You have to look for the rule 40 which is already discussed. And subsection 6 says government will prescribe any such rule which is applicable here in the rules, okay, CGST rules, which is also already declared here. I have also given you declaration form, and I have also told you about the rules. Okay, these rules we have already seen: rule 40, 41, 42 and 43. Rule 42 and 43 we have learned it very clearly in apportionment video, right? The link is given in the description box. Please go through that if you really want to learn, right? This is all about section 18. And let me tell you students, section 18, with this section 18 ITC chapter finishes. Now this is also the syllabus for CA intermediate and CS executive. Okay, now CS students and CMA students, CS students can also really learn from these videos. Any kind of suggestions, any kind of clarifications if you really want, you can give it in the comment box, and I will try to make another video on that point, right? See you in next video.